Okay, let me tell you this, guys. Darkness has no power. Darkness has no power at all. Like darkness, it has no power. Why? If you're in the deep darkness, all right, you don't see anything. You don't see where you're going. You don't see what is next to you. And then you just turn light. In 1 second, that darkness disappears. So do you understand the importance of light in the midst of darkness? Okay, on the other hand, if you have light, it doesn't matter how much there's a deep darkness. It doesn't matter, but you always see something as long as there's a light. This is to tell you that, guys, in the midst of darkness, there's these bright moments that happen, and our job is to focus on that. Sometimes, there'll be a time we'll talk about the issues and everything and the struggles that are happening and how can we get over this. And there'll be a time that we channel our energy and we channel our hearts to something good that is happening. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's good to see everyone here today. Thank you guys for joining me in this session tonight. I'll be here very shortly. I'm not going to be here for a long time. Today was just having another meeting somewhere on Twitter, and I share with you guys on social media here to come and to hang around. And some of you joined today, so I appreciate for those who showed up in that session. We had such a good, really good session, and a lot of thoughts, a lot of things, and I'm just grateful that we have Africans across the world and across Africa who they are fighting day and night for Africa, right? It's something to appreciate, it's something to be grateful for, and it's something to celebrate as well. I'm just gonna pray a little quick, and then I'll go ahead to do this small session of tonight. God, I thank you for a wonderful time you've given me again to stay here and to talk to our people, to your people. We are your people. Thank you for your spirit. Thank you for your anointing. Thank you for your message. And thank you for your thoughts that you have for us. I give you glory. In Jesus' name, amen. Hey, guys. What's up, man? So it's good to see everybody here joining. A proud people, beautiful continent. Great. It was good to talk there. Grateful. Thank you, Marit, and everybody who is joining. I thought I should come here to finish up a little bit because, to be honest, where I am right now is 3:35 a.m. Got to go and take a nap for tomorrow because I believe I'll have a long day again tomorrow. But I just got to say this, that as you guys seeing the title and the thumbnail of this video, I want to bring you guys back a little bit of where we came from when we started this movement and what we are doing. I'll put the mission here on the screen for you guys to see, for those who have no idea what we are standing for and the mission and the vision. So I'll put the mission there so that you may understand where I'm coming from and what I'm actually talking about. This is the mission, guys, for those who do not know or have no idea: to defend the image and bring back all the heritage of Africa, to decolonize the mind through authentic knowledge and create a bridge for oneness and a peaceful Africa. In one of my speech that I did in Ethiopia, in a Youth Pan-Africanism Summit, I mentioned one thing, that the history of Africa, the Africa we know today, is not the Africa that used to be there. All right. There are people with their agendas that wanted to erase, pretty much eradicate the history of Africa. And I share a couple of videos even recently about the history of the Bible and all those stuff, for just people to see, because these are historical facts that we have to be aware, especially when we stand and we fight for this beautiful continent of Africa. So there are people with their agenda to undermine Africa, to dismantle Africa, to traumatize Africa, to keep Africa where it is right now, to make sure that there's no change, there's no advancement, there's no development, there's no change in our politics, in our financial, in our unity, in our oneness. There's no change in the borders that they were created and brought there so that they can divide and segregate us. There's no change. Whatever effort that has been done to bring back the history of Africa to be eradicated. So what does the border tells us? The borders tell us that, hey, you are from there, I am from this side. You're from north, I am from south. You're from west, I am from west. That's what tell us. So automatically and psychologically, it already create borders inside of our mind and inside our hearts. That's why today you'll find people who are so proud to be called certain country based on your country, but they're not proud to be called African. That's how I find people who are proud, so proud to be who they are based on their nationality or based on their tribe, and they don't want to associate themselves with anybody else because you are from another region, you're from another tribe, you're from another country, you're from another this and this and that. So you have that because the idea, the intention, the strategy that those colonizers did is that you will struggle with that for the rest of your life. Automatically, if I draw the line here and I said, don't cross here, this is my side, that is your side. It's kind of like, it reminds me when I was a little kid. When I was a little kid, me, my brother, and my sister, all of us were eating from the same plate. And what we did, because some of us were eating faster than others. You know, my sister, she was eating very slow. So she would just cut the first tongue of ugali. The second tongue, the ugali is done. Or take one piece of meat. The second meat, there's only bones on the plate. So what we did, basically, we divided. If you have a little plate here, we divided. This part is for my sister. This part is for Mika. This part is for my brother. So you will eat your food, and once you finish, you are not supposed to go to any other side. That's yours that you finish. So automatically, it creates something inside of my mind that, oh, I should have my own thing. You should have your own thing. You should have your own thing. And that's how we raise. So later on, imagine at the beginning, we were eating in the same plate and some plate eating together, and some of us were like, oh, no, you're eating too faster than me. You're taking a lot than me. No, let's divide. So we divided in the same plate. But eventually what happened? All of us, we had different plates. We have 3 different plates because that was not enough. Sometimes you'd be like, why are you taking these 2 pieces of rice? This is for me. So we had 3 different plates, everybody to eat from their own plates. Psychologically, it changed. You began from the pure intention, eating together as a family. So the only thing, the decision is not to divide so that everybody can have their own food. The decision is to figure out the way, how can we make sure that everybody gets satisfied? If the food is too small, then we can add more food for others to eat. If you are eating too fast than the other person, we can compromise. We can find a way that all of us will eat from the same plate, and every single one of us will actually enjoy the food we're eating. Nobody will eat less than the other person. All of us will eat in the same plate, but we'll care for one another. If I love my sister so much, if I love about her well-being, if I want her to be full, if I want her to enjoy the food, what I will do as a little brother, I'll make sure that my sister, she's having the same piece of cake that I'm having in that plate. I'll make sure that if my speed is too fast and I'm eating alone, I'll make sure that maybe I leave some food to my sister. I'll eat as quick as I can. Maybe I don't want to slow down. That's just my personality, to eat as quick as I can. So I'm just going to eat, but also I'm going to leave a portion of food to my sister to eat by herself at the end of the day. That could be the solution. But you know what? The solution happened that, oh, no, we need to divide or division. And oh, not only that, you can have your own country, you can have your own border, you can have so automatically, psychologically, it has already trained us as Africans to think that you are from the West, you're from the East, you're from that side, you're from that side. Man, I'm talking things about I experienced. I'm talking things about I've seen. I'm talking things that they actually hurt me because I experienced that. Not just about food, but about the Africa I'm talking about. But the history of Africa, can you imagine that those borders that they were created, they were not there before? Yes, we had our kingdoms, but our kingdoms was much stronger, was much bigger. The African kingdom is one of the most powerful kingdoms in the world. You can talk about Mali Kingdom. You can talk about Congo. You can talk about Egypt. You can talk about Ethiopia. You can talk about the eastern side. You can talk about in Tanzania. You can talk about all the countries in Africa. We actually had very strong. When you go back to my ancestors a long time ago, these guys, they fought against Germans, and you know what they fought with? They fought with stones. And those guys, they're fighting with shotguns, with guns. But you know what? We were able to overcome that war, and we only fought with stones. Can you imagine? Today, you have someone there and says that It's impossible for Africa to develop if we don't have the same technology as they do have. I'm saying it is possible. Why I'm saying that? Because back in the days when they had guns and we had stones, we fought and still we won. You can take a contest of Ethiopia and Italians when they fought. They didn't have advanced weapons. They used locos, but they still won that battle against the Italians. Are you telling me that the reason why Africa it is where it is today is because of technology? I'm saying no. Do I say that technology is not important? That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that we are powerful, we are strong, and we're capable of doing anything by using what we have, by using the resources we have, by using what we have. The problem that is costing us is that we want a quick success. We want overnight success. So overnight success is that I'm not going to put on the work that I know that I'm going to need to work for 10 years, for 15 years, for 20 years, for 50 years to see the result. No, but I'm just going to take a loan from someone to see success tomorrow. Why? Because I want to create my legacy so that I may be elected in the next year. I just want to stay longer in the power, but I don't think about the bigger picture of my country, of my continent. The bigger picture is not there. The vision for 50 years, for 100 years, for 200 years, for 1,000 years later, we don't have in Africa. If we have, then we have the vision that we don't work on. We won in the past. We survived in the past in those environments. That's how powerful Africans are. That's how powerful this continent is. But we don't know that. We don't know where we're coming from. We don't know the history of our roots. I was really surprised. You know, I have a picture that I found out that the chiefs, like in Tanzania, in every single region, we had so many chiefs back in the days. One among those chiefs, she was a woman. Today, people will believe that, of course, I want to say that, yes, it might be a problem. Yes, it is a problem in our community, but you can't tell me that we didn't have women leaders back in the days. I believe I was learning about Somalia. Somalia, they had a women pilot back in the days. Back in the days, they had a women pilot. We had a women chief. In this one picture that it shows all chiefs of Tanzanians, I was looking at that picture and then I saw this one lady right there. I was like, oh, dang, this is a long time ago. We had this. I didn't even know. I was not aware of that. Today, we don't even know our chief. We only know the first president of the country, Julius Kambarage. Before him, there were so many chiefs back in the days that they did incredible. We have Chief Nkwawa, we have Chief whatever. This and this. These guys, they fought battle with colonizers, with stones. We have a war called Majimaji. This guy, he told his people, he knew that my people, they might not go to fight. This is the story. It's the true story. So this guy, he told the people that, you know what? Whenever these guys, they come with their guns, don't run away. Just say Maji. When you say Maji, those guns, those bullets will turn to water. That's the meaning of Maji. So a lot of people died because these guys, you know, he thought about the plan that these guys, they're going to run away. So what can I do to make sure that they're not running away? Okay, they should just say Maji, Maji. So when those guys, Germans, they were shooting, people that Maji, Maji, they believed in their heart that it would turn to water. People, they died, but also people survived because they had resilience to fight back. They had resilience to press back. They had resilience to know that we have power and we can change anything. And that is the meaning of decolonizing the mind. That is our mission. That is the reminder when we talk about reimagining Africa. When we're talking about reimagining Africa, the Africa you have today is not how it used to be. The Africa you believe in today, the history of Africa you believe in today is not how it used to be. Let's go back to our roots to understand the true stories of our chiefs and how they resolve conflicts. When I visited to Ethiopia, went to Hawassa, there's this one really big tower, and it has the pictures of different people from different tribes, from different backgrounds. And I was told that this is how they resolve conflict. When there were conflict, they would sit down together and they would do this and this and that. We had our own ways of resolving conflict, and we were able to solve them back then. But these days, we're finding easy ways, easy roads, shortcuts of just killing one another, shortcuts of just getting loans so that we may be developed tomorrow. We don't think about the sustainability of Africa in 100 years and 2,000 years. I'm not just talking about the issues, I'm talking about the solution here, that we are the solution. We are powerful, we are resilient, we are fearless, we are God-given gift to this Africa, and we can change it with the resources we have, with the knowledge we have, with the ability we have, with the determination that we have. We can change Africa and nobody can stop us. We don't need anything from anywhere. We have ability to create, to innovate, to change, to transform. We have ability to create. We have that ability. It's already in us. We have that. And that's the meaning of One Africa. That's the meaning of this t-shirt I'm wearing here, Africa. Africa. We have that ability. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. We are powerful. We are fearless. You have to tell that to yourself. I always say this. We have this one proverb in Swahili that says, mti wenye matunda haukosi kupigwa mawe. Mti wenye matunda haukosi kupigwa mawe. The tree with the fruits will never cease to be stoned. Never cease. People, they will always stone the tree with the fruits. People will always do that because you have fruits. Everybody want to take a piece of that. But you know what we don't focus on, what we don't realize is that your tree has fruits. The tree has fruits. That's why they cast stones on the tree. So our focus sometimes is in the stones that are coming to hit the tree. It's wrong focus. Our focus should be the fruits in that tree. How did we get those fruits? Why we have those fruits? If we focus on fruits, you know what we're going to do? We're going to take those fruits and we're going to eat it. And we're going to be fit. And we're going to be healthy. And when they come and cast stones, there will no longer be fruits there. Because we're one step ahead of them. But our focus is on their stones. And we cannot stop those stones because they will never stop casting stones on the fruit that is full of trees. The only thing to do is protect the fruits. Protect the fruits, man. I'm speaking with so much codes today. I don't know if you guys are getting me. I started with food. Now I'm here with fruits. Protect the fruits. Protect the fruits. Take fruits. Give to your people before they cast their stones to these fruits. Take fruits and keep right there. Oh man, my goodness. Okay, I have somebody here. I need to bring this warrior here on this session right now. And you guys, okay, let me tell you right now. Like this video, copy this video, and share with somebody out there right now. Because what is about to come right now, you are not ready for it. Copy this link and share with somebody. I'm telling you right now, before I bring my sister right here, right now, copy this link and share with someone right now. And like this video. Just like. Go ahead and like this video because what is about to come here is a storm, and I'll be quiet. My sister.
My brother, peace and blessings, Mascadro, to you and the family watching and tuning in.
Man, I can, first of all, I cannot believe you're here. Welcome. It's good to have you. Thank you for your humility to come here on such a short notice because we're in another session there, and you just you did something. You did something that reminded me about what we are doing and who we are. And I was like, this is the message that our people needs to hear. As long as you can, I want you to take as long as you can to just have that session for yourself, to say it, to speak it, to speak to us.
I give thanks to you, to this space, to Poetic Justice, who let me know about the space you were on. Fam, if you were not on that space on Twitter, oh, I don't think it was recorded. There will be more to come. There will be more to come. I must admit ignorance. I am only just learning about this fantastic space. And in our pursuit for growth, we must take every single opportunity. We must not be ashamed to say, I didn't know. I didn't know about this space. But this is also why I say these spaces that we were having on Twitter, Twitter space or Facebook or YouTube or whatever space that we create to come together as people of African ancestry is so important. Because if I didn't get onto that space, I wouldn't have known of the space. Maybe eventually I would have. Actually, I know eventually I would have, because the ancestors are rising in ways beyond our comprehension. And I give thanks, and I give thanks, and I take a moment of gratitude to that. I'm really here to have a conversation with everyone who is here. I'm here to learn. I'm here to grow. I'm here to build. And I'm also here to remind. I'm here to remind that not just that it's possible, that impossible is truly, truly nothing. And again, the importance of language. And if we break down what that means, what impossible means, and who creates and who gets to say what is or isn't possible. We, as people of indigenous ancestry, people of African ancestry specifically, and I say these distinctions with conflict inside of me because all people of African ancestry are of indigenous ancestry. But that's not how it's viewed in institutional systems. See, there's like a division. There's the Forum for Indigenous, for indigenous people. And the push that people of African ancestry had to do to have a forum for people of African descent was wild, wild. It was a proper battle, but it happened. And for those of you who don't know, I take an opportunity to let you know that the inaugural UN Permanent Forum for People of African Descent is being held in Geneva from the 5th to the 8th of December. I'm not saying this because these spaces are where we create change. I'm saying this because we need every single conscious African to be in that space, not to be in that space to engage government or leaders, because that's a whole other conversation. My personal belief, currently, the people running our continent are misleaders. They are misleading us because they continue leading us in conversations that don't serve us, in rooms that don't have space for us, into policies that continue to bleed us dry, that continue to allow seeds that are made in labs to be put into our soil, that corrupt our soil and poison our people. And we can talk about food and how that's corrupting, and we can go around in circles and round and round and round. But we're not here for that. We're here to remind and know and ask, what is this power we have? What is this power that I hear this brother's voice on a Twitter space, and he sends a message, and despite my attempts to create some kind of schedule that I can follow, no, I'm clearing everything. And I'm like, no, I want to be here. What is this power? What would you call it? Mika, what would you call it?
I'll call it the power of change, of determination, and understanding who we are and what we are called to do, right? Understanding our mission, understanding our purpose, the meaning of life is basically doing what you're called to do. And at that point, you fully live when you begin to do what you were called to do. Back in the days, there like 3 or 4 years ago, I met this one lady. She's actually 3 or 4 years ago, I met Bernice King, the daughter of Martin Luther King. She came to South Korea and she wanted to meet with few young people. And one of those young people was me, right? So we had this private meeting with her in our hotel, and I wanted to record it because I was, doing YouTube. But she said, "No, this is private. You're not recording. It's not going anywhere." So we're inside, and she shared with us a lot of things personally. And in that meeting, there were a secretary of that lady, and she told me one thing one day. As we were continuing to talk, she just told me one thing. She said that you were born to do this. I want you to always remember that you're born to do this. At that time, I didn't even start with Swahili Nation. I didn't even start with this movement, One Africa. And I was 26 years of age when I met her. And she told me that MLK, he started those moves when he was 26 years of age. That's when I received that. It was kind of like a prophetic, divine, words from her daughter, like Benice King. And so I left there. I didn't know what was going to happen. And that was, I think it was 2015. And then flash forward in 2019, on the Christmas 25th, that's when I started with Swahili Nation. And 2020, March 1st, that's when I started with One Africa. And here we are today, born to do this.
Born to do this. Chosen. You chose to come here to do this. That's what we keep forgetting, because we have been conditioned, we have been programmed, and it's a difficult truth to embrace, but it's a necessary truth to embrace, because that's when we begin deprogramming. That's when we realize, oh, hang on, when did this line come here? And when did this country be a country? And when was it always like this? Are we always like this? Do we have to stay like this? And these reimagining, the thing is, we're not the only ones saying we need to reimagine Africa, right? Those who got happy with a pen, slicing a wonderful continent into multiple different countries, turning brothers into neighbors and sisters into adversary countries. They're also reimagining Africa, but they're reimagining her in a very different way. And we have another issue, which is an intergenerational one. Because as we continue to fight the programming, as we continue to fight this conditioning, as we continue to fight to remember who we are and why we're here, we are faced with some elders within our community who are more than happy to tell us, be realistic. What has this reality given us for us to be realistic? All due respect to our elders, all due respect to them. There comes a time where we need to know what we know. And if you know, you know. If you know, you know. It's very easy for us to fall into that trap. And I really appreciate, and I want to uplift what you said earlier about being in a rush, being in this rush, it's the Insta age. Everything needs to be done so quickly.
Yeah.
But there's our ancestors who worked with the land, who worked with everything that's been divinely created. They knew. And they said, no one rushes the rain. Now, when I was coming in, you said a storm is coming. I don't think you actually knew my name, because on Twitter I was under 4 Black Power. My name is Dima Mahmoud, and Dima in Arabic means the cloud that carries the first drop of rain, then keeps on pouring.
Come on now. Come on now. Hey.
So when I tell you, when you know, you don't need someone to tell you. You didn't need me to tell you what my name was. You didn't have the time or space to look out what my name was. But you knew. Inside of you, you knew. Wow. Like I knew I needed to be here. Like everyone who's tuned in here knows something is calling us to come here, to come together, to be together. And this mentality that we will only come together if the system crumbles, so we have to focus on fighting the system instead of coming together, it's reversed. The system crumbles when we come together, because we are that fabric. When we weave our truths together, we become that net that shackles that system, that traps that system. And then we pick on it bit by bit. But first we need to come together. And that's following our instinct. That's following that voice that's inside, deep, deep inside, that we have been conditioned to believe is lacking. We are not lacking. We were not the ones who crossed oceans and mountains to storm other continents, to rob their people. We're not lacking. We're not lacking. We're not the ones who had to go to other continents to see how they built entire civilizations. That wasn't us. That wasn't us.
It wasn't us.
Who we are is what attracted that to come and try and understand what this power is.
That's powerful.
It's the truth. You know, it's the truth. It's the truth. It's the truth. Yes, we were kings and queens and emperors and empresses, and we built civilizations, but also we were one big village. We were mommies and daddies and, well, not mommies and daddies in that language, but you know, we were the mamas and the dadas and the babas and the tatas and the aunties and the sister and the brother. And we have to draw these lines and navigate them very carefully in our path to liberation. Because if we focus too much on the court mentality, the king and queen, we forget the integral part that allowed us to get to that king and queen space, which was the brother sister, which was our matriarchal nature as a society. I am Nubian. Nubia is a patriarchal society. Our language that continues to be attacked to this day is rooted in it. The woman, and more specifically, the mother. When I call you Anenga, my brother, it means the son of my mother. Wow. To my sister, Anesi, the daughter of my mother. The mother is integral. And this is why I say the attack on people of African ancestry started by the attack on the Black woman, the first Black woman, Mama Africa. And that dynamic, once fully understood, then shifts our entire lens for our path to liberation, for that path to one Africa. Because that path will not be complete until we completely destroy the patriarchy.
Yeah.
And that's a painful truth for some of our brothers. That's a very painful truth. So I want to talk about how do we navigate this pain? I want to ask you how you've navigated this pain. I've heard a little bit about your story and about the accusations and about the challenges that you had and what you faced getting onto a screen with 2 viewers on. And you said what you needed to say. How did you navigate these uncertainties? And I'm asking out of curiosity because I'm in a very similar space as well.
Yeah, you know, to be honest, I'll be very raw today here. I think I've never said this before. That you know, there's a time that you are in a. I shared this in the space that where I grew up, people are not really interested in things like this. You know, it's not something that people are interested in. And me, I sometimes I wonder even like why I got here, because when I was 16, 19, I had completely different, idea. But But I think, you know, God was preparing me long time ago when I was doing other stuff, right? And when I was thinking that I'm gonna be somebody one day. So when I started doing this and having like one view and two viewers, it was the moment when I felt like people, they're not gonna listen to me, especially because I always wanted to talk to people close to me, like people who knows me. I wanted to share these ideas, but deep inside my heart, I had this concern that these people might not, I mean, they're not gonna believe what I say. They're not gonna listen to what I say. So the safe place for me to share my ideas, it was here YouTube, because I believe that they're not watching it. So I can talk whatever I want to say, and nobody's going to question me. Nobody's going to judge me that I said that's not possible. That's it was for me, it was an escape place, a place to escape and to do my thing, because I just believe that okay, internet lives forever. It will be there, but you know, one day people will find out. But for that moment, I didn't even tell my friends what I believed on or what I wanted to do. So I just came here and do that. So I came to hide, but I was actually coming to my mission, because this was my escaping plan. Honestly, I didn't want to talk to them, so I was like, I'll just do on YouTube. Nobody want to listen to me, because there were always people telling me, "Mika, you're talking too much, talking too much." So I channeled my energy to something else, and I felt like they're not gonna listen to me. But surprisingly, yes, true, my people, they're not listening to it. But then the way it happened is, you know, it's what we're talking about. There, just random people who don't know me, you know, don't know anything about me, began to listen to me. The family began to grow. And through that, people are wondering what happened with this guy, why people they are following him, why people they are listening to him. So they come out of that curiosity and they get the message. And now, even here in the comment section, I see one of my friends. We started together in high school. This guy here, Honest Urasa. This guy, he can confirm that I started with him in high school. He said, "This is great movement, Mika. Wishing you courage and belief to take it to the heights you aspire." But this guy, he can witness here. Like Honest Urasa, if you're here, I would love to invite you to just, you know, to just share who I was in high school. Because in high school, I was completely different person. I was doing as I think about it right now, I see that it was, you know, related. I was very, you know, like very, like people they were calling me pastor, and they knew that I was gonna become a pastor. But they didn't know that I'm gonna become a pastor like this. So how did I deal with that? It was escaping place for me. So it didn't really hurt me as much as it was supposed to hurt me, because I didn't want people to see, I didn't want people to listen.
Supposed to hurt you, or you thought would hurt you?
That's a good question.
The importance of language and the intentionality of words. How many young Africans, how many young people, but since we're talking about one Africa, and I repeat, Africa is not limited to the geographical mass that is the African continent. Africa is Africa and all her children everywhere. So how many young Africans have these brilliant ideas and are wondering, who's going to care what I have to say? Or, oh, but so many people already have the spaces. Like, for example, I want to create a space to speak about Africans coming together. But now I learned about this space. Does this mean I now get discouraged because Mika already has a space called One Africa? So no, there's already a space talking about Africans coming together. So no, I shouldn't do it. No. If the message is coming to you, if the inspiration is coming to you, whoever you are, if the inspiration is coming to you, count to 5 and write something to move to that direction. It's coming to you because you and someone you know needs to hear it. It's not just you. If you recognize the words you say when you're speaking to your friends, to your family, to your neighbors, to your co-workers, to your teachers, whoever is in your surrounding, if you pay attention to the words you are actually saying to them, they are words your spirit needs to hear. They are words your high school version self needs to hear. There are words your primary school version of yourself needs to hear you say. Not just needs to hear it, needs to hear you say it. Liberation and the quest for justice is a journey of healing. And because it is a journey of healing, no one has the right to tell you how to heal. So no one has the right to tell you how to seek justice. No one. You don't have to go out and protest on the streets if that's not what you do. You don't have to be a part of a political party if that's not what you do. You draw, draw. You sing, sing. You write poetry, write poetry. You teach, teach. You cook, cook. The paths to liberation are vast because the paths to healing are vast. This is your journey. Because once you start healing, I start healing, and you don't even know me. You've never seen me. You don't even know what kind of traumas I carry. But best believe the second you start healing a part of you, I am healing. You are alleviating something off of me. Now, can you imagine if all of Mama Africa's children start doing that? This is also part of the conditioning, is that if you focus on yourself, you're selfish. No, you have to be selfless. Think about it. What does selfless actually mean? If you're doing a selfless act, yourself is not in it. Your soul is not in it. What's the point? What's the point?
I love that. Wow. You know what you're saying? What you're saying is, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but what you're saying is basically is what we say, that be the change Africa need. Like, in order for me to change Africa, I need to change. In order for me to heal others, I need to heal first. In order for me to forgive others, I need to forgive myself first. In order for me to love others, I need to love myself. Because you cannot do to someone what you don't do to yourself. What is coming out of you is what is inside of you. It's the reflection of who you are.
Truth. Of course, my editing hat and language intention monster that's in the back of my mind. So we don't need to change Africa, just like we don't need to save Africa, because Africa doesn't need saving.
Yeah.
Mother Earth doesn't need saving. All these climate change, oh, we need to save the Earth. Mother Earth is taking care of herself plenty. When she needs to raise those waves and cleanse what needs cleansing, she does. When an eruption needs to happen, she erupts. When she's done, she will generate what needs to be generated to ground us and put us in our rooms. For 2 years now, we have been in our separate corners because of this pandemic or plandemic. Listen, anything that has been divinely created, operating outside of ego, is self-healing. You don't believe me? Look at your skin. Look at any scar that is created in your body. It self-heals because it does not involve your ego. Because you do not try and go in and say, I can do this better. As long as we are looking at Africa as in need of our help, we are invoking an imbalance that is too grave. Africa doesn't need our help. We need help. We need Africa.
Mm.
In that same token, as you said, we cannot heal if we have not healed. We cannot help if we cannot help ourselves. And this is the same reason this frustration keeps mounting about us going around and round in circles when we talk about the plans that we want to do. We talk great. And a lot of us talk. I am guilty of this. I will say it, I will admit it, and I am working day and night to be better. But I say, oh, I have this idea and I can do this and we can plan this and we can do this. And I can show you Post-its till the end of time, color-coded and all. How much of it are we sticking to and actually seeing through and actually committing to and doing? This is why we don't trust each other, because we don't trust ourselves. We don't. We say, I'll say it. I say I'll stop smoking. And then I'll go back to cigarettes. How am I supposed to trust myself next time when I say I will win? My words become meaningless. The words we give ourselves. We are looking for love. We're looking to feel loved and feel safe from the outside, external. But we're not giving ourselves this love. Let people love you the way they love you. We get angry at people because they don't love us the way we want to be loved. It's not their job. We get angry at people because they're not seeing us the way we want to be seen. It's not their job. It is their job to see us from where they stand. Now, if where they're standing is convoluted, is crowded, is noisy, is distracting, is destructive, is messy, and so all they can see us as is bait or is people who need help, can I blame them? No. But they don't need to affect my being. They don't. Half of my family thinks I'm crazy. Okay. All right, I love you. Y'all stay where you are. That's great. I send you love. There's no resentment. I don't want to stop talking to them. I'm not going to stop being there for them. Think I'm crazy. Watch me rise. Call me unsuccessful. Call me, I am a PhD holder. I have a PhD from the University of Exeter, Sudanese Foreign Policy and International Legitimacy. And I am still being called unsuccessful. I had my PhD at the age of 25. I have consulted for the Arab League, for the EU, for the UN, for the African Union, and I am being called unsuccessful. Why? Because I don't adhere to a 9-to-5, and I am not following money. I am following love. I am not being led by fear. I refuse and reject and rebuke and transmute fear, because love cannot exist in the presence of fear. And those driven by fear will only lead us to the next obstacle. How many of our people are afraid to even try? And then they say, oh, well, we're powerless. Have you tried? But what's the point of trying? It's going to fail. Have you tried? But it was tried before. Have you tried? Sure, it was done before. Sure, it has failed before. Sure, it was missing before. What if you're the missing piece? I'd like to ask the family who are tuning in, what do you feel the root of this fear is? This fear of trying, this fear of us actually coming together, this fear of us actually achieving, actually turning out to be who our ancestors have written and shown us time and time and time again who we are. Ignorance, fear and ignorance holding us back. Not being able to make change. Okay. I'll hold on to ignorance here for a second. And again, back to the power of words and the power of language and the weaponization of languages. How many of us are guilty of falling into the trap of raising awareness? How many of us, you don't have to answer that, like you don't have to, but between you and yourself, how many times have you said, I'm here to raise awareness? My goal is to raise awareness. I have fallen into this trap personally. But is it awareness really that we need to be raising? Because a lot of people are aware and they're not doing anything. Every misleader on the continent is aware, they're not doing anything. Every president, queen, prime minister, king around the world, they're aware, they're not doing anything. So is it awareness we need to be raising or consciousness? Because once you're conscious, you can't not do something. Once you're conscious, whether you like it or not, you're moving towards what you're being called to. So are we raising awareness or are we raising consciousness? Is it lack of ignorance or is it a disconnect from our spirituality?
Yeah. Oh God.
You know, we say we're a voice for the voiceless. Who's voiceless? Have you heard an African woman call her children in? African women are not voiceless. African men are not voiceless. African youth are not voiceless. When you say you're a voice to the voiceless, you are emphasizing, you are putting truth and energy towards a lie. No one's voiceless. They're being silenced. We are being silenced deliberately. Deliberately. We have to be very, very careful with what we're saying, how we're saying it, why we're saying it. We have to really, because when you say something, well, why did I say that? When you feel irritated when someone is saying something, like a lot of the competitions between Africans, East versus West, jollof rice is best in this country or this, why? Why does it have to be best in here? Why can't they be great everywhere? What does it matter which civilization was bigger than the other or better than the other? Well, they're all civilizations that existed, coexisted, and co-created greatness. Why are we holding on to this? Is not our thinking. This is not our doing. This is a trap, and it's by design. Because if we start fighting each other, then we're not seeing who's robbing us. We're not seeing who's bleeding us dry. We're not seeing us who's captivating us. We're not seeing as we get shackled further and deeper. How many of us know the rest of our family globally, what they are going through? How many connect these dots? How many ask, what role are we playing in the liberation of all people of African ancestry? I don't claim to know it all. I don't. Shamefully, I know very little, in fact, about our history. I co-founded the Nubia Initiative with my sister at a time when the Sudanese government was moving forward to build 3 more dams in the northern state of Sudan, the Northern Territory, which is the Nubian region of Sudan. Their plan threatened to submerge 70 to 90 villages, depending on how you define a village. My village was one of them. When we started the Nubia Initiative, my sister and I don't speak Nubian. We're diasporan. We're 2 young women abroad. I personally hadn't been to Nubia. Literally everything you could think of was actually stacked against us.
Yeah.
We got some, criticism and side eyes from our elders because, like, what do you know about Nubia that you're going to? You don't even speak the language. Sure, I don't. I don't know the language, and I don't know much of the history. Is that an excuse for me not to start this? Is that an excuse for me not to start learning now? I will learn whatever I can learn. And in the process, I will teach whoever wants to learn with me and alongside it. And bit by bit, I'm going to know enough to connect me to something else and something bigger, fighting the same fight. And it has, and it has. Because that's how all we need to do is decide. All you need to do is decide. What do you want? Liberation? Great, decide. Peace? Decide. Freedom? Decide. Everything else will fall into place. And no, this isn't spiritual law of attraction, this modern day spirituality woo that, no, I'm not talking about that. There's a lot of that. There are many ways where our attempts at coming together, where our attempts at aligning will be usurped. I am aware of that. But that doesn't make it any less true that truly all we need to do is decide. If we are an extension of Mama Africa, and Mama Africa was divinely created, then we are an extension of the divine. Every single trait, every single power held within divine power has a little bit of us in it. We are that. How are we going to activate it? That's what we need to decide. Everything else falls into place. How long has One Africa been going?
This is I gotta say, this is the third year. The third year. This is the third year. It's the third year. And I love, let me go through some comments here that people shared here, because I think it's really, really important to read some of the comments here. I don't know where I start. I'll start with Biggie. Biggie, he's one of our hosts here. On Saturday, we have a show called Diaspora Talk. So the talks is, it's about diaspora, because we are trying also to bridge the gap between our people in the continent and in the diaspora. How can we bring them together? So he says, which I think it's really important. Greetings and blessings. We are not aligned with the power of our consciousness. I finished there. We are aligned with the power of Xavier. If anyone don't know Xavier is God. Rafaya Kongoman, it's a good point, my sister. They recreate a puzzle, you need all its pieces. And I'll go to our Minister of Education here. We have a Minister of Education, Nathaniel Samson. He says, this lady is bringing out African spirituality. Gosh, many shrug the spiritual movement to self-transcendence. And we have BJ. BJ here says, where is that? Our warriors are in plain sight. The ancestors ain't playing with none of us. We must step up and go to ask. Hannah says, I hear you both speak at the Twitter space, and it was beautiful and powerful. God bless you both. All right. And yeah, and so many other comments. If I didn't read your comments, please don't feel bad. But, I see that. I see you guys. And, we're going to keep reading, some of the comments. Most of the time I say this, Dima, the storm. Let me call you the storm, because I said at the beginning that the storm is about to come here. And I think y'all are witnessing the storm. I've never been this quiet. I got to tell you this. I've never been this quiet. But, there's a time to speak and there's a time to listen, right? I always say this, that if you see the problem, that means you have a solution, right? And I just wanted to emphasize on what you shared here, before that, You know, we had this conversation in the other space, right? That this thing has never been done before. You know, what are the strategic plan for you to achieve this? And like, to be honest with you, and my people here knows, the team knows here, you know, I don't know everything, and sometimes I don't even know where I'm going, but I know in my spirit that this is the way I should take, right? I know that this is the time I should speak. I know that this is the time I should stay silent. And so I obey that and I go that because, you know, in our movement, one thing that we do, one thing that we acknowledge, we keep God at the center of everything that we are doing. You know, we don't promote, you know, any type of religion, but we keep God at the center because these things, you know, it's not just about, you know, outside, but they go all the way deep inside to the spirituality. And if we leave him out of the picture, then I don't see us achieving anything because my mission, this call that I have, I was called by him. That's how I started, right? That's how I started. I didn't call myself. This was never there's never part of my plan. My plan has been messed up, you know. And I told you even how I started. Like he you know, in a way it made me feel like I was trying to run away and I didn't even know, but I was actually running to the calling that I was called to do, right? And I didn't even know. So sometimes, you know, the questions comes to me and I have no even idea, like, oh, like I have no idea, but I know what I'm doing, I'm supposed to be doing. And if it was not done in the past, no, it was done in the past and they did their part. That's why today we are doing this. That's why today we are referred to what they have done, to the good work that they started, right? You don't build empire in a single day, right? You need to build foundation, and they did that. And now we keep building onto that foundation. And there'll be the next generation will keep building onto what we are preaching here and we are talking here today. And that's what we are doing, and that's what we, you know, we stand for and what we love. I don't know if you saw the mission before what I share here. I'm trying at the same time, yeah, to share with you, you know, a little bit in detail to, you know, to understand this. But you know, I think I'm gonna talk to you. I think we're gonna need to have this session often, you know, me and you, because I love this energy that is going on right here. There's such a supernatural energy here. Keep talking. Keep talking. The
It's
storm.
guided. It's guided. It's guided. I receive it. I'm here for it. I am ready in any and all ways. And part of being ready is also being ready to be wrong. Being really ready to be really wrong. Because once we start on this journey, we will find things out we never imagined, we never thought fathomable, have been told over and over it's impossible. And if we're not really ready to be really wrong, we will be the challenge. We will be our own obstacles.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Because first and foremost, this war is a psychological warfare, first and foremost. And so we're already in conflict, trying to shed whatever we have been told about ourselves. As we move forward, as we recognize certain powers, whether it was you thought you were escaping, I thought I was doing my part to learn whatever I can about my heritage before it disappears and further floods under the Nile. At the end of the day, we trusted what we were guided to do. We had no idea what the next step. We had no 3 month, 1 year, 3 year, 5 year, 10-year plan. We didn't. And some would say, oh, that's the wrong way to do, and you have to wait, and you have to think, and you have to this, and where are you going to get the funding? And where? You know what? God provides. The thing is, if God takes us to a point, we will be taken through it. We are never taken to any single point in our lives without being 1000% prepared with every single tool and weapon we need, every single piece of information we need to get through that point. Not just to get through it, but to get through it. and start the next point. And if we're not operating in that trust, in that faith, we will continue to doubt ourselves. We will continue falling into the trap of imposter syndrome. We will continue asking, what if no one listens? What if no one shows up? What if people attack me? What if people call me out on my, for the longest time, I avoided Pan-African spaces. I'm saying it. I avoided them. I avoided them because when I first tried, I was rejected because my last name is Arab Muslim. I was rejected because I was raised in North Africa. I personally had very little information. So I was going in saying, I don't know. And apparently somewhere along the ether, I don't know became a shame and an insult. When really, I don't know is really a prayer. If you think about it, I don't know. The words I don't know is a prayer. Because when you say I don't know, you are speaking to God. Saying, I don't know, show me.
Yeah.
I don't know, teach
the word. Yeah.
These thoughts we have in our head, as we are divinely created, we are connected to everything divinely created. So when we think something, the universe listens, responds accordingly, because it follows divine order. And since God is all-knowing, almighty, most graceful, most loving, I have nothing to worry about. They can block me off Twitter. They can delete my Facebook. They can take me off Instagram. They can even come and shoot me in my bed. I know my spirit will rise and haunt their every dream.
Guys, I found my lost twin. I found my lost twin today here.
Hey!
Oh, God. Oh, my goodness. Hey.
I really want to thank you for inviting me to this. Like, the rest of my evening was going to be very, very different. I am so grateful that you felt guided to open this door, and I felt guided to answer this call and be here. It is so nourishing. Thank you.
I don't know what to say, because that's the thing. You see that right there? That's, you said something that for some time I even questioned myself in the past, because people who knows me, they know that I'm very spontaneous. And why I'm very spontaneous? Because, sometimes I don't even know what I'm going to do tomorrow, because I believe in the power of present right now. I'm living right now. I have this moment right now. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. I have right now, and I have a mission to do right now. So I live right now as if I don't have tomorrow. I don't say planning is bad. I don't say that. But I use the moment I have right now, because sometimes you're worrying and concerned about tomorrow that you don't focus about today, and you're missing everything that is happening right now at this moment. So the reason why God created me this way, to be very spontaneous, it's because if there's any speech I give, if there's anything I do, it's always just happen instantly at that moment. That's just how my mind works and how God created me. If I had plans about even this show, because Monday usually I have a show. So I start at 9 p.m. usually, but today I extended all the way to 9:30 because we're doing space. You came in the space and you shared, and right away I went to your DM, I texted you, and I came here. I prepared the session. I didn't know at that moment. I didn't know that you're still gonna come. I didn't know. I just prepared. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go there after this moment, and then I texted you on WhatsApp and share the link that, hey, usually this is what I do. Usually I ask people. I tell them we plan 1 week ahead, and what I do is this: I'll ask your profile picture. I'll ask for your biography to advertise on social media and then to share with everybody. And I'll create the intro video. And then next week we'll have a session. That's what I do. That's how I do my shows on Monday. Today, nobody knew that there's someone coming. I, even myself, didn't know that you were coming. And what I did, I share with you the link even before you reply to me. And I send you the voice that, hey, I'm going to do this. Then if you're available, come and join me. And I had nothing specific I wanted to talk about. I just knew that there's something I need to talk about. Here you were, you came, and that is the power of present, of living right now. Because when you live right now, believe me or not, you're living tomorrow as well, because tomorrow depends on how you're living today. And this is the preparation on how you do it. So, and you say things that I believe in. You say things that I mentioned before. I'll share with you, one video for you to just see. You share things that like they shock me, as if you are someone who have been listening to what we've been saying, for what we've been talking about. And that is just, it's a divine connection, and it's a timing. Time and chance happen to them all. It's the time, is the right time of what is happening here today. And everybody who is watching here can testify that it is their time as well, because they pretty much feel the same way we are feeling, or even better. And it's not just about the feeling, it's about the truth. By the way, you keep saying the truth, but that is the campaign that we have been going on in here in Soil Nation One Africa. Hashtag the truth. We have like different campaigns. Hashtag the truth. Hashtag Proud African. Hashtag Reimagining Africa. Hashtag One Africa in Our Generation. Hashtag One Africa. See, hashtag whatever. All those are campaigns that we've always been carrying. Hashtag the truth is something that we always use on Twitter, texting. The truth is, because we are interested in the truth of who we are and who we're called to be.
Everything you do out of conscious, out of divine guidance, reaches exactly who it needs to reach. I did not know about this space, but I received every message you put there. I received and was fueled by the energy that you poured into this. And by you, I don't mean just you. I mean you and everyone who is taking the time to be in this space. Everyone who is taking the time to smash that like button. Everyone who is taking the time to share this with someone else because they feel called that this message will resonate, or will light up love, or will give something to that someone that they love. This is why I'm saying, even if you're just thinking it in your head, I will receive it. Oh, all the love to everyone who is pouring this love into my spirit. I give thanks on the importance of, you know what? I was going to say on the importance of being present, but I do want to comment on how, again, gracious God can be. I so despise sharing bios and photos and promos and so on. And so the fact that I'm doing this without having to do that, I mean, look, we can keep counting how these alignments are so spot on.
I love God, man. I love God. I love God, because if I start to ask you for your pictures and for your biography, maybe you'll be like, come on.
I'm telling you. Like, look, I have it on my list of things because I'm going to be on a panel commemorating the 50th anniversary of Amilcar Cabral going to the U.S., his last visit to the U.S., and a bio and a photo was requested. And I'm just like, because I'm not the combination of words, or the combination of words of a short bio. That won't tell you who I am.
Yeah.
I'm not those degrees from universities. I'm not where I used to work. I'm not where I worked. That's not who I am. Someone once told me, "Oh, can you send a short bio?" I was like, okay. Human being. They didn't
Come
like
on
it.
now. No, no, no. Come on now. My goodness.
You know, like, you want a short bio? Here's the short. Because if you want a detailed one, there are full records somewhere up in another realm that can tell you who I am and how many of me came through into this space, this marble of ours called Mother Earth. And going back to the present, the tomorrow, the yesterday, the today. I was just in Ethiopia, and that trip was planned out of nowhere. It was like supreme calling, and there was no waiting. It's inexplicable, really, as all things spirit. I go there and I find out it's their new year. So I left from Cairo, went to Ethiopia, and it's 2015. There, the new year, it's 2015.
Exactly, yeah.
But it's also the new year in Egypt, like the Kemetan New Year, which is 6,242. No, 6,424. So I left from 2015 to 6,424 on a ticket that's marked 2022. Time is nothing. We are time. You are time. Every single person here, every single soul and spirit present in this space is time. This is why we say we need to speak up for ourselves. And when we say that, we don't mean who you are right now. When you speak up for yourself, you speak for all the versions of yourself you were before, and every single version you are walking towards. So thank you for being time, for giving this time, for holding this space. Yes, the language, energy. Xavier. Energy, energy. The power of language and how it's being weaponized. We call different things different ways. What we're experiencing and what we're working towards. And this is why I say we need not focus on who we're fighting. We need to focus on what we're fighting for. Because we already have everything it takes. We can only live today. Yes, we can only live today.
Dima?
Yes.
Did I pronounce your name right? Dima?
Dima, yes.
Dima, and usually again, usually, there's always introduction and all those stuff, but we're gonna skip that for today. Because this is not the last time. I'm gonna talk to you very soon in what's up there, slide a little bit. But I want to appreciate you for being here and pouring out your heart and and yourself to us, to this community. It's good to be reconnected with our people. Found my lost twin as well, so that's beautiful. And this is your space. This is why we say once you just come here like this is your place, this is your house, this is the place that you can always come. And I just have a spontaneous idea, so I'll share with you. But yeah, thank you so much. This has been beautiful, and it feels like I've been talking for 1 minute. That's how I feel. We've been talking for 1 minute.
More to come. We are time.
Come on now.
We are time. We are time. I give thanks to being allowed to be a vessel to give through whatever message any of us needed to hear. I give thanks for you receiving. I give thanks for all the love that is in this space. I bless you all, and I'll invoke again my Nubian ancestors' tongues and say Afia Logo, which means may good health and spirit follow you wherever you go.
Come on now. Blessings, blessings, blessings. All right. Guys, I appreciate. Thank you for joining. I'm just gonna close up with a word of prayer and then I'll be getting out of here. Maybe I should not close because if you close right now, we might have hard time to open later on. So I'll just give thanks and then we'll meet again. Tomorrow, Paul Justin will be here with the Swahili session. So if you're interested in Swahili, join Paul Justin tomorrow for that session. And in the comment section right there, we have a link where you can support for our establishment of the offices, right? You guys know that we are registered officially right now, and we are finishing up the actually, we already finished the proposal, the first project proposal. And where I am right now, I've sent today to more than 10 different companies and places proposals. So hopefully I'll get a nice feedback and hopefully we'll meet up and talk about, how to actualize this proposal or this project. So we're moving towards one Africa and nothing is going to stop us from serving our people. All right. God, I thank you for today, for a beautiful day that I had here with Dema the Storm. This has been such a refreshing moment. And with our people, with everybody that joined here, I give you thanks for what you have done, for what you are doing, for what you will do. Yes, we see past, present, and future, but in you, there's no limitation of time. Time does not exist in you. So we thank you that you're building something and you're using us as your vessels to deliver that message and to bring our people together. We thank you. We praise you. We thank you. In your precious name, Jesus Christ, I pray. Amen. Guys, have a beautiful day. I'll see you guys very soon. I love you, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.